Militarily Speaking, episode 71, Jenni Reed, Armed Forces Bank Recruit Department.
This episode, we talk with Jenni Reed, Vice President and Manager of the Recruit Department at Armed Forces Bank. One of our very own.
I know. We've had some of our very own in the past. So as
Not
people
often,
go back,
it's a treat.
But as people go back into the archives of greatness with our podcast, they'll see
Mel
like
Agudo
Jeremy
was on there.
Rowe, Melanie Agudo.
Yep.
Should we make up some more names, or is that
Jenni
enough?
Reed.
Jenni Reed.
Yeah.
That's a trifecta of pure joy right there. We have Jenni Reed with us today. Welcome to Militarily Speaking, brought to you by Armed Forces Bank. This is Tom McLean. I don't have to tell you who I am, but I need to tell you who Jodi Vickery is. Jodi Vickery is the Executive Vice President, Director of Consumer Banking. And back to me, I am the Military Retail Executive for Armed Forces Bank.
Welcome to our show. We're excited to have you listening and learning all about our guest, Jenni Reed with Armed Forces Bank. I do want to tell our audience a little bit about you, Jenni. We didn't make any of this up.
Half of it.
Well, it's all true. We didn't make any weird stuff up. So
all right.
Jenni Reed is the Vice President and Manager of the Recruit Department at Armed Forces Bank. She is also a certified performance coach and trainer with the John Maxwell team. With over 25 years of experience in sales and leadership, Jenni values exceptional service and strong client relationships. In her current role, Jenni and her team focus on supporting military recruits and recruiters by offering tailored financial solutions to help enlisting service members manage their finances and build credit. A graduate of the Legacy Program at Dickinson Financial Corporation,
Woo-hoo!
Which is the parent of Armed Forces Bank. That's what they say on news shows.
Jenni, were you in the original?
I was.
She was an OG Legacy member.
What year?
For sure. 18, 19? Don't ask me time. I'm so bad with it.
Well, maybe 1 out of 2 is correct. The 2 years you said. So we'll go with the range of 18
It's a
and 19.
range.
Yeah.
Circa
Pre-COVID.
circa
Everything's pre or
2018.
post-COVID. Yeah.
Yes. She is also an alumna of the local Chamber of Commerce's leadership program and currently serves on its advisory board. She's been a repeat keynote speaker for the Greater Kansas City chapter's Out of the Darkness American Suicide Prevention Walk.
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And was the 2023 keynote speaker at the International Women's Day Gala in St. Eustatius.
Otherwise known as?
Statia.
Right.
So welcome, Jenni.
You're a quick study, Jodi.
I had to think about it. Welcome, Jenni. It's an honor to have you on our show. We're happy to have you here. And I kind of want to just start with hearing a little bit about your background with DFC. Tom probably knows more of it than I do because he's been here a lot longer. Yes. But
about 4 or 5 times longer based on your anniversary coming up at the end of this year, your 4th year.
Yes, I know. You keep reminding me.
But Jenni's been working here longer than I have, so she knows more than I do.
She's for sure got me beat. So I'd love to hear just about your career path here at Dickinson and Armed Forces Bank to start us off. And then I'm sure we'll pepper you with all kinds of questions.
We have a plethora
of questions for you.
Plethora.
It's Tom's favorite grown-up word.
No, it's a good word. It's a great word. It's a great word, plethora. Well, I started out in 2004 in, believe it or not, an entry-level position with the Customer Care Center. And I've held several titles in my tenure. I've been involved in the development and restructuring of a few departments. So the quality, I think it was quality control or quality development. Nonetheless, it went to quality control and development after I was asked to take that on. And that was an awesome opportunity. Several of the promotions in that particular season came from directly on my team, and I was asked to restructure the quality department to be more from observe and report to observe, coach, and develop. And that was really a cool opportunity. After that, I was asked to lead the first outbound sales division that was super successful. We had 90 days to prove that it would work. And in 45 days, we got the 2 thumbs up and authorization to grow. That was so cool. It was really an awesome opportunity. And then my most recent ask was to come over to the recruit department, which has been equally awesome. I know I probably need to change words, right? But all of it's
spectacular.
Been awesome. It's been spectacular.
Yes.
So I guess in short, when I'm asked, what do you do for Armed Forces Bank? The answer is whatever the company needs me to do in that moment. To push us and our clients to the goal line, right? It's been a really great journey. And I will tell you, out of all of the things that I have been able to sell and promote over these last 25 years, this company is by far my favorite, my favorite thing to sell.
Just for audience clarification, because as I introduced you, recruit department, I mean, a lot of people are going to gravitate towards the HR side of the house, right?
Yeah,
So for clarification, just give us your rundown or your, I hate to say 30-second elevator speech, but
absolutely.
what is the recruit department?
The recruit department is not talent acquisition. That is certainly human resources. We actually work with
We already
military.
have enough talent there with you, Jenny.
Well, we're always looking for more, right? Our team is awesome and nope, not awesome. Spectacular.
Yes. Stupendous is another adjective.
Fantastic.
Monumentally amazing.
Yes.
But we work with military recruiters across the nation to help them get their future enlisting soldiers set up with a bank account and all that they need to access and use the bank account before going to basic training. That's what we do.
I'm glad you asked that. That's a good clarification. But I will say what I heard and you walking through your bio with the bank is flexibility, adaptability, leadership,
Loyalty,
You don't,
dedication.
I mean, when you see somebody that bounces around at the request of the company to tackle different things like that, those are the traits that are there, which is pretty
tapped.
Pretty awesome, to use the word du jour.
One of the things that I've known about you, and I've known you a while, that you've got a unique passion for financial education, improving the financial lives of recruits. So let's start there too, that the most critical elements of financial education starts right when they're 17 or 18 or 19 or 20. And when they're getting into financial, if you will, mainstream financial services, maybe instead of going to a payday lender or going somewhere else, or going to a check cashier or going to a retailer to get a money order or money transfer. So it's let's get them started young and let's get them on the right path. So what do you think are the most critical elements of that early part of their military career when it comes to financial services and education?
That's a great question. I need to make it clear in my opinion that the American public education curriculum doesn't prioritize the personal finance side of things nearly as well as it should be, right? This is something that impacts all of us throughout our adulthood. And I really feel strongly about it needing to have a stronger emphasis to prepare people for the next chapter. So I guess that being said, the first probably critical component would be just banking basics, right? Starting with the understanding of even the difference between deposit accounts like checking and savings. It's super important because people that lack that understanding end up paying for it by way of fees, interest rates, all just because they don't know any better. So it's important for every financial institution to do their part to close that gap. It's something that I feel like we should all be equipped with before we hit adulthood, and we're just not. We're not. So the second element that I would say is budgeting and financial planning. It's remarkable, honestly, how many people are missing this really foundational block to understanding how to manage their finances. The National Foundation for Credit Counseling published their annual summary a few years ago that highlighted that 34% of active duty service members are unable to pay their bills on time, and 11% have debts and collections. That was like jaw dropping for me. So learning how to manage money, save for unexpected expenses, build financial security, that helps all of us, service member or not, in so many ways. But for service members specifically, it's critically important. Knowing how a soldier is going to manage their finances and take care of their needs and their family's needs directly impacts mission readiness and ultimately impacts their performance. So that's certainly a critical element for me. And then credit probably the next biggest component, because I feel like building and maintaining good credit isn't nearly as hard as people make it out to be. But for service members especially, it's critical, because if you neglect your financial obligations, that leads often to negative consequences that might not impact the civilian sector, right? You could lose security clearance, you could lose rank, even hinder your promotion prospects. And I think that it's important for financial institutions to want to help their clients by better equipping them with that necessary info so that they can proactively remove obstacles that they might not be thinking about at 17. You don't think about those things at 17.
Jenny, with the 18, that's too much. With the 8,000 financial institutions combined between credit unions and banks, and they probably all have a sweet spot for what you talked about with credit. Are there some simple ways that the audience can pursue or identify with their respective financial institutions that would be a way to get into credit responsibly and to be good stewards and to maintain the ability to advance their military careers or keep their security clearance? What's a good starting point for somebody that's in the age range that is part of your daily life working for this company?
Sure. That's a really good question. I would say that for anybody over 18, don't bite the bait of whatever credit carrot is being dangled in front of you. Even if you can afford the car, truck, or motorcycle at that nearly 30% interest rate, don't do it. Just don't do it.
Don't get the shiny object just because you're an impulse buyer like I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
Well, usually just at the register when it's a candy bar. It's not like it's not a car.
The car.
Yeah.
Now I feel attacked. Okay. I've been, but I really do. I feel like, especially in our country, it's so easy to, when you are that young, it's so easy to get any level of credit that you might need, failing to think forward far enough to know how that's going to impact your financial well-being. It's too easy. It's too easy. I mean, there are plenty of credit card companies and financial institutions, even at, college campuses that are opening up credit cards for a free T-shirt.
Yeah.
Like, and you're leaving with years and years of debt and a debt to income ratio that's negatively impacting your credit score. It's not exactly setting our youth up for success in the right ways, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's probably not even a great T-shirt.
No. Probably shrunk the first time it was washed and dried. To be honest.
Yeah, no, I think that's all great advice. When you think about what you're doing and what your team is doing, what keeps you and your team by extension engaged, motivated to apply what you just talked about to the recruits and via the recruiters as that's possible in what they're doing to prepare to serve our country?
And that's a really great question. What keeps me motivated is how passionate my team, how even protective my team can get over these clients. I think we've all been really encouraged by and inspired by how much courage it takes to swear in and commit to protecting the rights of our country, right? So before coming to the recruit department, I had no idea how many enlisting soldiers were doing so to start a new path for themselves in life, to escape situations that would have otherwise prevented a brighter future for themselves. So that act of courage is really inspiring. And for my team, we all understand we've got a diverse group, right, in all age brackets. So there are several of people on my team that have already learned through the whole credit disaster by trial and error that this is something that you can maintain fairly easily if you start early and you're protecting yourself from some of these opportunities that are really tempting. So this is also oftentimes in our department the first account that these individuals have had sole ownership of. And knowing some of the backgrounds that these enlisting soldiers are coming from, it's really encouraging and keeps me so motivated to stay the course when my team does their very best to protect them, right? They protect them from unnecessary access to their account, from experiencing unnecessary fees, all while doing such a good job of tempering the anxiety and excitement that can come from this new chapter, right? We're talking to individuals that have not even yet shipped, like that ship date is coming. They are feeling all of the feels, right? Like excited, terrified, and we take a really guiding approach to making sure that they feel empowered and confident to make some tough decisions about their financial well-being.
I think that's great. Well said.
I've had the pleasure of working with the recruit department pre-Jenni, right back probably in 2015, 2017 timeframe. Then I worked with you, Jenni, recently as well. And I've always enjoyed what you do and what your passion level is. And you tell me stories about, your team spending 45 minutes on one phone call with a client and to have I'm going to correct me if I'm wrong, Jenni. I think there's a dedicated 800 number, 844-72-SERVE.
That's right.
How about that for a memory?
Good memory. You're nailing it.
I'd bet $1 you have it written down.
But I just check on my faculties every once in a while.
$2 okay? You had it written down.
All right, that's it. Thank you for joining us today, Jenni. We are no, but the hand-holding, the dedicated recruit department, the white glove service, the red carpet rollout, just the caring, and it leads me into this is leading me into the next question, that when it comes to finding the right team around you, getting the right team developed, you're all about developing others and providing the skills, the resources, the tools to be successful in their job. But If you were to hire somebody today, or if you were to go out and do the different kind of recruiting on the HR side for talent acquisition, why would they want to work with you? And what is it about a career in the recruit department at Armed Forces Bank that would be something where people should be picking up the phone, not calling that 844 number, but calling Jenni Reed's cell number at 555-1212, but calling and saying, hey, pick me. I want to be part of that team because it's pretty cool.
Well, because we're awesome.
Oh, here we go.
There it is.
I'm sorry. Okay, so that's not enough. You're right. I mean, okay, so for my team specifically, we genuinely focus on walking the talk, right? Like, it's important that each of my team members is equipped with the knowledge that they need to manage their own financial readiness. So I think that when you say what's the most beneficial thing for your department, we focus on growing not just my business, but my people. I feel like when you pour into your people, their performance will show it, right? I try really hard not to focus on, we are a sales retail branch for sure, but I feel like when you take care of your people and you give them a great example of how to take care of people, then they do that for your client base and the sales fall in line, right? You got to focus on the client experience. But I will say that having that opportunity to grow our people in general has been so awesome for me. Like, I've had the most amazing opportunities to be able to watch my team take control of their own financial situations. We've been able to celebrate personal milestones like stellar credit scores, interest rates lower than they've ever experienced, savings plans so that they're not in a hardship like they've been in previous years because now they're prepared. They've done it in a way that's digestible, that fits in the budget, that doesn't make savings feel like this weird thing to avoid. They know that life is going to happen and they're prepared for it. And I've even been able to help celebrate first-time home buyers, all done on their own, which is so incredible to see because they pass that real life experience down to their client base. They know from experience that the products that they're talking about work. They can say from experience, my credit score went from this to that simply by doing this one little thing that didn't cost me an annual fee or a crazy interest rate. I think that empowering my team with the knowledge they need to raise their own awareness is something that they've been able to pass on to their own kids and our client base. And they are hands down, in my opinion, the most valuable asset that we have. And being a family-owned company, I think that it genuinely helps when you are working with a company that understands the importance of adding value to your people, right?
Yeah, definitely.
When you have that, it all starts at the top. And when that trickles down, you just continue to add value and your team does the exact same thing appropriately to your client base.
And you're always one to proactively celebrate with your team.
Yes. Any reason to party.
Yeah.
Party.
We talk about that a lot, but you think outside the box too. It's not, you don't just follow the credo of a typical corporate structure where you recognize when the company says to recognize you at a certain time. It's, you come up with it. You and Jessica do a good job of that, of just coming up with ways to keep people motivated. Yeah, it's a great place to work.
It's good momentum, right? When you celebrate any sports team that starts winning, right? You celebrate more wins, you get more wins. So I feel like anytime you can acknowledge your team for their wins, you should.
I'm going to put you in for the head coach of the Chicago Bears to help my team win.
How do you feel about
not be embarrassed with either a Hail Mary or a double doink from several years ago against the Philadelphia Eagles in the playoffs.
I feel bitterness creeping into the conversation.
It is. Okay. Take me away.
It's a slow creep, though. You're still good.
All right.
At least for now. No, I love hearing you talk about the celebration with your team with the different successes. I know that as we were preparing for, it was a credit builder campaign, I think actually, for our secured credit card that we offer, you provided out of your team a real life story of one of our associates that used that product and built their credit score, and it made a difference for them personally. And you're 100% right. When you're able to see personal benefit from whatever that is that the organization has to offer, you're so well equipped to present that same opportunity to a client, I think, in a meaningful way.
I agree with that completely. When you are sold yourself on the thing becomes a natural part of the conversation.
Yeah, it's like, why wouldn't I tell everybody about this?
Right.
Then you're not a salesperson.
Right.
You're providing a service.
Purveyor of value.
Ooh,
Absolutely.
A big word.
Can I write that down?
You can. I'll charge you. And so everything you just said might be the answer to my next question. But, there are people that play in this military bank space. What is it about your team and what you do and how you do it that makes it unique to answer the needs for the service members?
That's a really good question.
Wait a minute, Jenny. Okay, so it's 2-2, right? She said
she said everything that I have asked is a good or a great question.
She's done that for me too, though. So we're just keeping score. Just make sure before it's over that I'm up by one. That's right. I'm going to feed her a bad question for you. That's a great question.
Yes.
All right, go ahead, Jenny.
I think that Armed Forces Bank as a whole, I think what do we have? Approximately, I think it's 75% of our staff is military affiliated.
Yeah, 75 to 80 on the retail side has a military connection. Yeah, I think that's a great stat. Yeah.
That's huge because that brings such valuable insight to the needs of that demographic. So that alone makes us, in my opinion, it makes us unique in the industry. We are committed. I think that having a dedicated department for this specific, I can't talk, words hard, this particular demographic for recruits and recruiters is incredibly unique. To my understanding, there is not another financial institution that has what we have. We literally have a group of specialists that don't just grocery list all the things we have to offer. We train our staff to go through a needs identification type of assessment. We want to know where you're at, where you want to be, what you've tried, so that we can best understand the problem that we are aiming to solve. You can't truly solve a problem if you don't understand it. So we're not just throwing out all the stuff with here, buy my stuff. No, we want to understand where you're at in life, what you understand, right? So that we can better identify some gaps and that we can help bridge those gaps with information, right? We want to help you feel equipped with the information that you need to confidently make sound decisions financially. And at this particular junction in people's lives, they have a recruiter and they typically have a guardian or a parent that is instructing, do this, don't do that, which comes with its own set of difficulties because, financial literacy is not really something that goes back generations and is sound. We deal with a lot of young people that are like, my dad said, my mom said, my recruiter said, don't do, no credit cards, no this. And we're doing our very best to educate this group of folks with the information that they need to know that they're doing their best to protect you from making the same mistakes that they've made, but we can travel these routes and help you avoid them just because you understand things a little different.
Yep. And I think giving them an independent resource, sometimes parents and maybe even a recruiter, I don't know, but certainly parents, as a parent, I can say this with certainty. You come at the conversation maybe biased or jaded towards certain things and might not give your kiddo all the options, right?
Sure.
Or just what your own experience is, quite honestly.
Oh, you're totally right, Jodi. I can't even tell you how many individuals that my team has spoken with where, something as simple as overdrafts are bad, never do it, which I agree with to an extent, right? You shouldn't be recklessly overdrafting your account, most especially when you're starting out in your career. Those fees are something you shouldn't need to budget for. You need to better plan for those things. However, if it is something that you have agreed to use in the event of an emergency, it could save you from having your lights turned off at very minimal cost, right? Or credit cards are bad, don't ever use them. Failing to realize that if you're not using some form of credit to build,
you're invisible. You're invisible, right?
The credit system. You can't buy a house.
Yeah,
can't buy a house. Can't do certain kinds of travel. There's a lot of things.
Unexpected stuff.
Exactly.
Jenny, you work at an undisclosed location somewhere in Fort Leavenworth, but
undisclosed.
You and your team reach out to recruiters a lot. You talk to your existing clients who are the recruits that you bank, but I got to believe there's other ways that beside the outreach that you do around the country to recruiters is that there's other ways that you try to stay connected within the military community. I know for me, I'm an avid reader, whether it's military.com, Military Times, Air Force Times, Marine Times, blah, blah, blah.
All the times.
All the times. And there might be conferences, there might be places to go to stay connected to what's at the pulse of the military community. But tell our audience a little bit about other ways that you do that. How do you stay connected to the military, whether it's in Fort Leavenworth or whether it's anywhere where our military might be?
Absolutely. We have,
Jenni,
thanks to Tom.
That's a great question, though, right?
That is a stellar question.
You can't prompt her. It doesn't count.
Yeah.
All right. So does that mean I get to take a point off? All right.
As a military spouse, I understand how unpredictable life can be. Whether it's a PCS move or just everyday expenses, money can be tight. That's why it's so important to have a checking account that works for you.
Armed Forces Bank offers our Access Freedom checking accounts designed with military families in mind. If you're looking for no monthly fees, early military pay, and no fee access to over 38,000 ATMs nationwide, we've got you covered. Plus, with our user-friendly mobile app, managing your money is a breeze, no matter where you're stationed.
And with about 75% of our team affiliated with the military, Armed Forces Bank really understands the challenges faced by the military and their families. We've been supporting military families for over 100 years, so you know we'll always have your back.
If you're ready for a checking account that's as flexible as you are, head over to afbank.com or visit a branch near you. Armed Forces Bank, serving those who serve. Member FDIC, $25 opening deposit and e-statements required. Direct deposit required for early military pay. Closing new accounts within 90 days of opening will result in a $25 early closure fee. Message and data rates charged by your mobile phone carrier may apply. All right, yeah, go ahead.
What's the score now? I need to know.
Whatever the score is, you were just about to compliment me, so let's go. Let's go with that.
I was about to say that that's a great question, Tom. And I was actually encouraged this year to go to the Military Influencers Conference in Atlanta, and that was so cool. It was really cool. Like that whole event, having so many service members that were in different stages of their career there to learn about how to start their business, how to have a successful podcast, how to lean on their network of influence was so great. And to be able to be there in a position to genuinely just look and listen for ways that we could better serve instead of being in a position to promote a business or a product was incredible.
And there were a lot of business owners there, a lot of the who's who in the military universe. Yeah.
So many. There were so many vendors there that were selling something, either service or a product to that group of individuals. But there were also so many military entrepreneurs it was so inspiring. It really was.
Yeah.
Going into a whole new chapter of their professional life by being able to take their military experience with them. The camaraderie, just that whole event was incredible. It was really incredible to find ways that we could better serve our service members. Like that was awesome. We also, as a company, we participate in Days of Giving every year, which I think gives us a great opportunity to stay connected.
What is Days of Giving, Jenni?
Days of Giving is just an opportunity for us to focus all of our retail efforts, all of our organization efforts to give back without the expectation of receiving. And this year, we're focused on addressing the food insecurity issue.
Right.
And that's so great. That's so great. More people suffer from struggling whether or not they're going to be able to put food on their table than I think many of us realize. Mm-hmm. And I think that collectively, as an organization as large as we have, it's an awesome opportunity. I know, word of the day. Awesome opportunity for us to pool our efforts in to try to stand in the gap best that we can.
By the way, I'll put in a plug in for Days of Giving too. In the years going forward, when we have a theme that we've identified with over nearly 90 locations around the country, both on Academy Bank and Armed Forces Bank, there are destinations where people can give and donate things and drop them in collection boxes and help us in the effort to focus on a need that's probably either unmet or a crisis that's facing our military service members, families, and veterans. But Days of Giving it's near and dear to me. And you've got a philanthropic bone in your body too, Jenni, because you do some things in Leavenworth for us on that side, which you'll want to talk about.
We really do just look for ways to give back in every way we can. And as far as keeping record of all those things, I'm not going to lie, it's a little difficult because we just do. I mean, I know that sounds cheesy, but we just do whatever is needed. If we can, we do. For example, we attend every career and job fair that we can that's military focused. It allows us a really great chance to meet with soldiers that are either transitioning into retirement and not knowing what their next steps are going to be. It gives us a great chance to maybe introduce them to our company and see if there's a fit that we have. With a company as large as we have, whatever your skill set, your strength is, odds are we've got a department that's going to be able to leverage your strengths, right? Like maybe you are super amazingly great with data. I don't get it. If you, but we need it.
That would not be one of the three of us, to be clear.
I mean, there are plenty of people that their strong suit is to be inundated in spreadsheets, right? And that's what they love. Again, I don't get it, but I'm thankful for them. I'm thankful for them. And I just think that those are opportunities where we get to, at least as a company, have a presence to be able to support. I know that our human resources department does different events that would include like mock interviewing, like for all kinds of demographics. We want to make sure people feel prepared to enter into a space. And it may not be our space, but if we can aid in the preparation, I think that our company does a really solid job of doing that.
By the way, didn't you have a job fair yesterday at Fort Leavenworth?
And it was great. I got to give really early high fives and congratulations to retirements that are coming in the next month. And it was also very refreshing to see other careered professionals that have been in their line of work for 20 plus years that are still trying to figure out what they want to be when they grow up. That was
the age-old problem.
Jodi has that issue too.
I do. Yeah. I struggle with it every day.
Same.
Yes.
And I'll throw in another bone for you, right, about the Wreaths Across America.
I wrote that down. I was going to bring that up.
That's kind of been part of your staple for your team and for AFB in general across the country. But thank you for doing that right on post there.
It really is my pleasure. My team, it's always so painfully cold, but at the risk of sounding cliche.
Too late, Jenny.
You leave with a warm heart. Like my team adopts a whole section, right, of our local national cemetery. And we do this, like you mentioned, for Wreaths Across America, but we do it with the intent to pay tribute to and honor fallen soldiers by making sure that their gravesites have a wreath placed upon them. And it's humbling when you're there in that moment and you are reading the name out loud and you are giving thanks, because it's humbling when you are faced with the ultimate sacrifice that so many of our service members have made to keep us all protected. It's an awesome thing for our team to do. We do it together, coated in hand warmers and trying not to have our eyelashes freeze, but if it is, it's fine. But we have done it for the last several years and plan to do it this year as well.
Made me visualize the pictures from last year. I know I saw on our social media, everybody was bundled up.
One other thing I'll share about your dedication to the military community is our banking center folks, right, support you, though, to go out and kick the tires. I feel like, why should I? I'm talking about them because I love these things, Jodi.
Yeah,
I do too. And our banking center managers do. They're boots on the ground and they are visiting their local recruiting stations and offering their services.
Offering financial education, right?
Absolutely. It's a big deal. It's a very big deal because we're trying to give recruiters time back in their day. And if our banking center managers are offering to do that financial readiness training or financial briefing, it's going to give that time back. We know that is something that most military recruiters make sure is a focal point, right? The 2016 National Defense Authorization Act made it very clear that there was an important financial literacy and education to be integrated throughout the military career. And that starts even with prior to enlisting or right at the front. The goal of that act was to make sure that our soldiers are better equipped from the time they swear in to the time they're transitioning. And if we can offer our services to help in that way and free up some time in that day, we want to do that. So our banking center managers do that in their surrounding recruiting stations. Yes, it is a big deal.
So far, she's referenced a study like this 34% stuff she was talking about. Now she's referencing some sort of legislation.
Yeah.
Who is Jenni Reed?
I mean, she's smarter than you.
All right. Do you have another great? You have another awesome question for her? Is that correct?
I know you kind of like led her into answering the question that I was about to ask them. So would you add anything that you'd like, or just say pass if you feel complete? So we've talked a lot about what you and your team are doing with the recruits themselves prior to shipping, but what's that value prop to the recruiter as you're reaching out? I know you just mentioned saving them time in their day.
Yeah.
My husband was a recruiter for a long time in the Army, and I know that that's critical for them. I mean, they've got mission, they're under pressure to mission box and make sure that they hit those targets for the military. But beyond adding time back in their day, what's that value prop to the recruiters that your team reaches out with?
Great question. Did you note that, Tom, right there?
Ooh.
Great. Well, the value prop is that we try to make account opening for enlisting soldiers really fast and easy. They can do that from their desk without even leaving the office. I know many recruiters are like, well, we send them right across the street. Our value prop is that you don't have to send them anywhere. They can do it right there where they're at. We have zero money to open the accounts. We also, this is a very unique thing. We open up for 17-year-olds without a parent or guardian. Back to one of my previous statements that a lot of these young people are escaping situations where they may be taken advantage of if they're not the sole owner of the account. And that's very important, right? We open up for 17-year-olds without a parent or guardian. We want them to start their military career in an independent way where they are being protected from anything that could be taking advantage of them. We also overnight debit cards and account kits to quick ships so that they feel that they have, number one, the debit card and all their account information prior to going to basic. I know that they don't often get to go and use it. And when they do, it needs to work. So we want to make sure that they're able to do that. So ultimately, all of that being said, we really hope to be the one that is trusted with the future soldier banking needs. We've got a dedicated team that meets each person at their level and really does take them on a customized journey through financial understanding so that they feel empowered to make some possible difficult decisions in the coming months, years, whatever. We want to make sure that they are ready and able to be promoted because their credit is sound and that they are well prepared for some of the life happenstances, right, that we don't think to prepare for.
Yep, no, absolutely. I love some of those unique things. Back to the other question earlier, probably a great question that I asked about.
At least you had one of them.
I feel like she's complimenting our questions after every answer. We should say, great answer, Jenni. Awesome answer, Jenni. Would that be weird?
Nope.
She said no.
I don't know if you can feel it, but the energy and excitement are contagious with Jenni Reed, almost as much as just spending time with you, Jodi. But yes.
But different.
But different. A lot. So you say you love we talked about developing your people, giving them the tools to be successful. And I think you've been with the John Maxwell Company for coming up to a decade, right? Since 2016.
Yeah, around there. I didn't even realize you could monetize that. I felt like...
Oh, monetize.
I mean, I feel like every leader's job is to personally grow their direct reports, right? I didn't know that you could monetize it. But yeah, I've been with the John Maxwell team since about 2016. And everything rises and falls with leadership. And he's spot on with that. I'm passionate about being a good example for my team and making sure that they're with the necessary skills to raise their awareness and be stronger communicators. And more importantly, compassionately lead those around them to do the same. Leadership is a big wingspan. It's important that we take it seriously.
Agreed. Especially self-leadership, which we talk about a lot around here. Yeah.
Yep.
There's a lot of acronyms in military world, a lot of acronyms in banking. And you educated me on two new acronyms, right? I think it was HALT and THINK.
Oh, yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. They're ones I use. It's easy for me to remember. Never make a decision like HALT. Don't make an important decision if you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired.
Well, that means I'd never make any decision.
Yeah, Jodi's out. She's got to go home now.
And then, do you remember what think is? To think before you speak?
That is not a skill set that Tom has.
No, I think I know what it is, but I can't remember. So what is think?
To think before you speak, you need to ask yourself, is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? And is it kind? And if it isn't, all those things, just button it up.
I'm going to ask you to lean into the N, Tom.
Well, then you lean into the K, okay?
I still am working on the N myself.
K is kind, right? K is kind.
Kind.
Yeah.
K is kind.
All right. Well, Well, then, Jodi, you're going to go with thin
Halt.
for yourself.
Halt.
Stop.
Stop. Definitely.
No, but that leadership response is great. I think that's a great for all of our listeners to apply that in any walk of life, in any job they hold, or as they transition or go into a new field. To be a leader, I mean, those skills are developed through the military lifestyle. We know that because they're almost leaders right when they come out. But certainly on the civilian side, that I appreciate you caring so much about working for the John Maxwell Company and supporting that. And you even got me to read a book for the first time since Dr. Seuss.
Did you read it or did you listen to it? I'm curious.
I read it.
Like,
there were no pictures.
Plus, I got the workbook to support it, right, Jenny? So it's a 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership.
Yep.
Am I in violation by saying a book name like that, or do I have to pay them for that? No.
You didn't say that you wrote it, so I think you're fine.
John McClane Company. Yeah.
Yeah. Just start leaving with John M.
Right. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. My distant brother.
Yeah, it's a good book. It's a good book for any person that is starting any kind of a pathway that could be considered leadership. It's a good book for any person that's just trying to learn how to better lead themselves. I think it's a relatable book that's filled with information that I think is reachable by any person. I really do.
And when a book, I don't know how many years ago it was written, but it's nice when they can outlast their time, right?
When they can stand the test of time.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I was trying to think of what that was, but I
halt.
Stop.
You're gonna sprain your brain. So I promise we're about done, and we'll let you back to your day. But I think we got a couple more questions for you, and you've touched on this, I think, throughout. But just want to kind of close with at least one thing from my standpoint, and Tom's probably got a wrap up question. If you were to give a young recruit a checklist, something that's easy for them to remember, your version of think or halt for them, what are those things that they could count on one hand in the order of events that you would encourage them to think about to get off to the right financial start as they get ready to prepare to leave for basic training?
Well, I really wish I came prepared with a handy acronym, but I don't. But we will start with some easy bullet points.
Still a great question, though, right, Jenny?
It still is a stupendous question.
Yes.
Start with a bank that strives to serve you, right? One that goes out of their way to help ensure that you understand how to make the most of what's offered. That helps you avoid unnecessary fees and has the added bonus of resources available to help you understand how to prepare, right? Like one of my recruit specialists, 844-72-SERVE, just saying.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned earlier, don't acquire the debt just because you really want the truck or the motorcycle. Those interest rates matter, and your debt to income will be affected. Your credit will ultimately be affected, and you will be paying on this for the foreseeable future. So do things in the right order. Take your credit seriously. And if in doubt, ask a mentor, a banking professional, ask your recruiter even. Ask. When in doubt, ask. And always put into your budget. This, of course, implies that budget has already been a thing, right? But put savings in your budget. If you don't have enough money to cover your insurance deductible, there's a problem. We need to make sure that we are saving for the right things so that you are prepared.
There is I
was trying to think of an acronym.
I know, you couldn't come up with
I haven't had enough afternoon coffee. That's my homework assignment.
We'll end this with, it's not going to be a story or two that I want you to share, but I do want you to just talk about satisfaction surveys that we get from your clients, right? I mean, the Net Promoter Score, which everybody knows what that is in the world, but to be hovering between 87 and 90 on a regular basis, and that's off the charts compared to the standards of probably top 1% in the country for that score. But are there a couple of those surveys or the responses that stick out in your head over the years as you compile that and celebrate with your team at the end of each month when you get those results and say, just that either that wow moment or that aha moment, or man, that Kevin Smith, he did such and such, or just something like that?
Yeah, no, I've got several. We get them what feels like daily. Our customer satisfaction surveys regularly have associate-specific shout-outs, and it's because of the service that they provide. It's so catered. I know Jessica Riddle, who is now the assistant department manager, there was a client that stands out that she reached out to persistently. Right? Once after she found out that this person had home ownership in their goal site, right? They were looking at home ownership. And for 2 years, Jessica reached out every month. Obviously, it didn't take 2 years to start, but within, I think it took, oh my gosh, maybe 8 months within that first year, we started with the credit builder, ultimately led from the credit builder credit card to start building the credit necessary to qualify for a home loan, then creating and sticking to a savings plan, all the way to 2 years, we were celebrating with that client homeownership. That wouldn't have happened without Jessica's efforts, right? And staying the course and still continuing to call, even though she was getting ignored on a few months. I remember at one point that client was like, don't give up on me. I swear, I'm taking it seriously. But that's one story that stands out a great deal. But like you mentioned, there are so many client comments on our satisfaction surveys.
Hundreds.
There's so many that highlight how helpful our associates are, how kind, how compassionate, how informative. And I literally cannot love it enough when someone goes out of their way to say how one of my team members made them feel seen. Like that's literally gold. I'm so proud of them for the service that they provide to our client base, for the compassion that they lead with, and for leveraging their own experience in a relatable way to a demographic that desperately needs it, right? They need that help.
We could do a whole podcast just on great stories, I think, coming out of this area.
That'd be fun to listen to.
Jenny, we're proud of you too. So thank you
Most
for your
definitely.
contributions.
Thank you very much.
Let's play a game. You want to play a game?
Oh no.
That's the creepy guy.
That's one of the horror movies. Come on. The guy that sits in the chair, right? He's got that clown face and
It does.
Uh-huh.
Break the shovel. Break the shovel. Get it? We're going to play Military Minute.
what was break the shovel?
When you're digging a hole, you got to stop digging so you break the shovel.
We can edit. We can edit you, right?
Oh no, that's a public service announcement that I'm sharing that. So I want to focusing on Military Minute, Tom.
You say problem, I say possibility.
Yes. That
There
sounds
she
like
goes.
a cheer. You say problem.
Is she half full? That stuff.
Write that down.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
I think I should.
So last episode, we had a guest on from Wells Fargo Foundation talking about the good work that they do. And so, Jenny, if you know this, feel free to pop out an answer.
You can blurt on this one. You can't blurt on the next one. Okay.
It may be weird if you knew it, but we won't judge.
She might know it.
What are the names of the two founders, and in what year was Wells Fargo founded, and what is the enduring symbol for Wells Fargo? This is like an 86-part question.
So there's two names, right? The two people that are
Two
Wells
names,
Fargo.
a
year that it was
symbol.
formed, and then what's that image that you see when you see Wells Fargo? What's that? Like the Nike swoosh or the McDonald's arches. What's next to Wells Fargo?
Oh my gosh. Do I have time to Google?
Nah.
No.
I know. I got nothing.
And remember, where you are, you don't have connection, so you couldn't Google there anyway.
I know.
All right.
She'll know the
Gotcha.
symbol as soon as we say it. So
Of course.
if you answered Henry Wells and William G. Fargo, are we going to require the G? Or we'll probably go with William Fargo.
Yeah.
1852 and the Stagecoach.
Definite.
See, don't you hate that?
1852?
When the 1852.
That's remarkable.
I know.
Long time ago. I got nothing. So fast forward before we all get in trouble. This week's Military Minute takes us to a question about Army recruiting. This one you cannot answer, even if you know,
But
because
it's
we're going
good
to tee it
because
up
then
for our audience.
she won't feel
She won't feel like she has to run outside to get a signal and Google it.
right. And if we're not going to hold it against her if she doesn't know an answer, that's part of her everyday business. So
We'll judge you later.
yeah.
So the question about Army recruiting, specifically Army, how many people joined the Army in the first year after 9/11? I think this is going to be hard because, I mean, depending on where you Google it,
Well,
you could maybe get a different answer.
I fact checked it in 3 different sources.
And so are you talking about like January 1, 2002?
or September 12th.
Oh,
to-
okay.
It's
Got
the
it.
1 year after 9/11.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Good clarification. So how many people joined the Army in the first year after 9/11? Get out your Google, dust off your encyclopedia, whatever.
Call Jenni
What-
Reed
call
because she'll
Jenni
have it by
Reed.
then.
And so when this podcast drops, put your best answer in there. And if you are picked, you could also be the lucky winner of $50 for yourself and $50 for a charity of your choice by way of a gift card.
Could be Reach Across America.
Could be. Could be.
I'm pretty sure they'll still have the buy a wreath, get a wreath promotion at that point.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. be a good use. And I think, I get so distracted by Military Minute. I have so much fun.
We should put a plug in for our website, because there are some awesome resources out there for financial education, cybersecurity
section
issues.
on recruit and the
section
team.
on recruit.
Yeah. So go to www.afbank.com. And
so if you enjoyed today's episode as much as Jenni Reed did, go out to afbank.com and subscribe to the show. Also, make sure to rate us or leave us a comment on your favorite podcast platform, which happens to be one of 3: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube.
Jenni, it's been a treat to have you on the podcast today and to share everything that we love about you with our audience. So thank you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you guys so much for the invite.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
See ya.
See ya.
Copyright Armed Forces Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. All non-Armed Forces Bank owned apps, websites, company names, and product names are trademarks or registered trademarks of their respective owners. Their mention does not imply any affiliation with or endorsement by Armed Forces Bank of them or their products and services. They are merely used as examples of the many available apps, companies, and websites that offer similar services. Before using any app or website, you should carefully review the terms of use, data collection, and privacy policy. Apps may have an initial cost or in-application purchase features. This information is general in nature and is not intended to be legal, tax, or financial advice. Although Armed Forces Bank believes this information to be accurate, it cannot ensure that it could change. Statements or opinions of individuals referenced herein are their own, not Armed Forces Bank. Consult an appropriate professional concerning your specific situation and respective governing bodies for applicable laws, such as irs.gov for current tax law. Armed Forces Bank, the Armed Forces Bank logo, and the Militarily Speaking logo are registered trademarks of Armed Forces Bank.